Today is January 12th, 2026. Officer Mark, that guy on January 10th on Saturday, when we were at Dutch Valley Restaurant, when I left the ladies' restroom, he's off in the distance up front with some kids. And he's one that called me fat. I've seen him before. And him admitting how he was seeing me all through my apartment. Is he one of the fake law enforcement? You would know. People impersonating officers. I've seen him several times. And him over there. Well, I told you I had that CryoSlim. They ran a special at Christmas time for $179. Thought I'd try freezing some of the fat places that I have. It didn't work. I'm not out that much. But I had it on my lower back by my hips. And one of the side effects is you swell real bad afterwards because they freeze the fat underneath. So your body heals itself and you swell up real bad at first. And that and you're cold for days. You know, when I went down there, I had jeans on. My hips are swollen. Do I care what I look like? No. And even her, I even black and blued a couple places this time. And I have just getting over, bronchitis. On the way down there, I had heartburn so bad from all the medication I have to keep taking the antibiotics and all this other stuff. And I was eating lemon drops. And when we got down to that restaurant, I tried to eat regular food. I couldn't. So I ate a salad. I didn't feel good. And I was in pain. And I go to the bathroom. I come out and I look up and I see him. And he's like running his mouth calling me fat. I knew she didn't care about her weight when I watched her eat that one piece of pizza and some nuts before she went to bed. I had to take medication. It causes upset stomachs if you don't eat. And it still causes upset stomachs at times. And I had worked all night. And he's in there bitching that I ate. It's none of his damn business. And Dave probably got tired of her being so fat, and that's why he did it. No one would blame him. Fuck you. Fuck you. And that guy paying everyone to keep an eye on her, so when her husband passes, maybe one of us will want to marry her. Who'd want to marry a fat girl like that? Maybe he should marry her. Fuck you. And I knew how fat she was when she tried on that top and didn't wear it, in another room. And so basically, he's for Dave, and he can see me through my whole apartment. And he can keep his fucking mouth shut. My body's swollen from that treatment, and it's none of his damn business what I wear, and it's none of his fucking damn business what I eat. And what kind of piece of shit shows up and makes fun of some girl that had a treatment and swelled up from it and already has bronchitis? You're really a pathetic piece of shit. Now, Officer Mark, I've seen him before. Is he one of the fake law enforcement? That's a good question. Because he was probably a crazy occult person. Okay? Now, during the case, I noticed people were seeing and hearing me in other people's homes. And I did an experiment. I knew they had a copy of my phone because they hacked the case. So I left my phone in the car.
So they couldn't say it's just where they wiretapped me. No, they could see and hear me in people's homes, even in the bathrooms. Last year we went to a bank and we were talking to the bank manager. She said thousands of people's personal information and accounts have been hacked in this area and they don't know how. How they got all their personal information. Where they were saying how they were stealing medical records, and I thought, well, if they're stealing medical records, why you'd have somebody's basically whole ID if you stole their medical records. I think they simply went around setting up bounty cameras in everybody's homes. And then they can sell, where they laughed at me, they sold my grandkids on kiddie porn sites and me on porn sites. Then they can sit and watch these people, get their socials, their bank accounts, watch them order stuff, and set up scams if they find out. And dear God, if they wake up with a bruise and have a flu symptoms, they could have a fake drug confession and then have a whole big scam on them. But they are in more people's homes than what you can imagine in this area. This extortion ring. Officer Mark, you witnessed that. And the guys that worked the case. I was working at this business in 19 and 2020. Okay. I had went to the bathroom. I was really sick to my stomach. Okay. Got some on my hands. Washed my hands 3 times because I'm OCD. Cleaned up, washed my hands 3 times. Came out and used hand sanitizer. This guy came up and said, I'd never say that you got stuff on your hands cleaning up. I was in a business bathroom in the back. They even had the employees' bathroom bugged where they could watch the employees. This is where this group is not funny. Remember, Officer Mark? Remember? Because it's just an extortion ring. The whole thing is to extort money out of the government. They have already confessed. They confessed they photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room and photoshopped that in the other room to make me look weird, and they drugged me and told me to say it before. And the doctor from before is not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. Well, it's HIPAA. They'd all go to jail for that. They all go to jail for all this. And the whole thing's the stupidest fraud scheme in the world. And Officer Mark, yeah, I bet that's how this group is in so many people's homes. It's unreal. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, but that guy that was on Saturday, the January 10th, 2026, Dutch Valley Restaurant in the front when I walk out saying that shit, is he one of the fake law enforcement? You would know. Because you've been assigned to my case for 7 years. You and Officer John. You would know. And he's for Dave, and Dave has people watching me in my home. That's how not funny this is. We've been divorced 6.5 years. And he's got assholes still playing with me. Have you talked to Agent John? I need my money. We all know he don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It's the First Amendment. And then he's already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. And admitted on a recorded line he had all the church people in his FBI office, made fun of me for the dirty doctor scam, and some guy named Pete, I still don't know who they are. And the whole thing is a scam. Mocking me, and it sounds crazy. But he already admitted, he talked to everybody, and they already knew the FBI was involved. So why would I stay quiet? And he was scamming the stupid people trying to scam people. And you don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. It's the First Amendment. It takes a judge, criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, and police I talked to. He was only bullying me. I really need my money. And this thing with his son Rick threatening to kill Carl and I do need new names, socials. We can live anywhere. Carl should not live the rest of his days in fear. And if they find him, they will kill him. I need the money to help my family. I earned it. I helped the government greatly. Look at all the people who got off the case. You know, I was down at Dutch Valley Restaurant in the fall, and Sugar Creek, and some guy said he was joining ICE. And even ICE told him they knew this whole thing was a scam. And there was a lot of foreign nationals involved in this. And he was in there talking about it. And I'll tell you what, you know, I've debated saying anything about that shooting in Minnesota. But I'll tell you what, when you sit down the street and you honk until federal police officers walk down the street and you lure them basically to their death, and you swear at them and make them mad so they go to arrest you and surround you, and then you run one over with your car, that is premeditated attempt to murder on a federal agent. They weren't in the wrong place at the wrong time. They didn't just pull over in the wrong place. They weren't having car trouble. They were down there with that video of them honking that horn and honking it for 3 minutes and screaming while the ICE agents are down the street until they finally walk down after 3 minutes. And they're yelling and swearing at them so that they'll arrest them and so they'll surround them. And it was a setup. And then she hits in a federal agent with her car as attempted murder. That shooting was 100% justified. I'll tell you what, you show up at any kind of raid that the police are doing and you interfere in one of their police investigations, and you make a scene and you scream and holler down the street until they go down there and they tell you to get out of your car and they surround you and you run a regular police officer over, they will shoot you. That is attempted murder on a police officer. There is no excuse for this. There is none. Domestic terrorism. See, that's what they're calling them. They are. And that's what these people are. Domestic terrorism is a group of people to further their own ideology, beliefs, with political or religious backing, with threats or harm to human life against the U.S. constitutional laws. This is domestic terrorism. And, you know, those ICE agents, do you know, I seen on Google that they were here in Ohio around December 21st. They got 200 illegal immigrants out of Ohio again. Do you know what they got? People with weapons and drug traffickers. What are they doing when they're going in for those raids? Are they looking for little 70-year-old people coming over here to die for freedom? No. What are they looking for? Drug cartel, drug traffickers, and human trafficking victims. So what are you protesting against? You want the cartel to take over? You want illegal immigrants to bring drugs in here to sell women and children? And you don't want them to save the victims? I'll tell you what, if that lady, if one of her kids would have been in one of those buildings, she would have been telling those federal police officers, don't you stop till you find my baby. I have met with people that lost family members and never got them back from the human traffickers. I was human trafficked myself. I know what they do to them. They bash their heads in, they crush them, they beat them until their stomachs or their intestines almost rupture. They torture them, and they let endless amount of people rape them. And they will drug them till they vomit, until their stomach shifts and they almost die. Do we understand? I know what they do to people. And so what are the ICE agents doing? They're trying to rescue human trafficking victims, find human traffickers, drug traffickers, and drug cartel. And they're trying to get the criminals out of the United States. Are they looking for 70-year-old people coming over here to die in freedom? No. You know what they're looking for? Criminals. So what are you protesting? The government trying to save lives. And that girl being shot was absolutely justified. and that her wife needs to be arrested for accessory to attempted murder on a federal agent. You know, people stay quiet about this because of radicals. Oh, we should support the illegal immigrants. What is there to support? They're breaking our laws by being here. What are you supporting? They're them going in and looking for drug traffickers. Where do you think they're getting all these big arrests? Finding all these tons of drugs. Or they find a couple, 30 to 100 something victims. Where do you think they find them? Because they got them captive. What are you supporting? The drug cartel. That's what you're supporting. Better check your moral compass.